The 51st in the What Caught My Eye series. In this edition, we'll be focusing on the ginger growler, Angela Rayner. She has been confirmed, breaking news, that she's left her role as Housing Minister and Deputy Leader. Good riddance to bad rubbish. I don't hate Angela Rayner, I pity her. And I actually blame anybody who voted for this Labour government, because you didn't do your research. This is not the Labour government of yesteryear. And it's about time you realise that, and you probably already have. If you haven't, then cry more. Even she lost James O'Brien, the far left Guardian, and yesterday the Daily Mirror as well. So when that happens, you know you're off. It's because she broke the Ministerial Code, as she didn't pay £40,000 of stamp duty. She said that she was informed or misinformed, but she got it completely and utterly wrong. And I'm glad that she's gone. Right? And I'll say this as well. When she said the tone and the voice mail where she said, Tory scum, I've got news for you. You're the scum one, Angela Rayner, because you used your disabled son to buy another first or second home. That is what scum do. You don't do that. That is lowest of the low. She is lower than a snake's belly. Now, this is a massive problem for two-tier Keir, right? And it's good for once that somebody working for Labour has actually done what they should be doing, is holding themselves to account. And the guy who did it, he was going on holiday, by the way, on Saturday, right? She only has herself to blame, right? She makes excuses, and everybody looking very stupid when they make every morning, noon and night saying she did nothing wrong. Even those people like John Rentoul, or whatever his name is, he said he was disappointed with Angela Rayner. And anybody who defends her is ridiculous. And she's not working class. Cheryl Cole lived in a council estate in Newcastle. Is she working class? No, she isn't. But I would say that she's had a better career than Angela Rayner has, right? And I blame her for the death of Sir David Amess, because it wasn't far after when he was killed. It was a mistaken identity, but he was killed, and I blame her because words have consequences. And she knew exactly what she was doing. So I blame her for his death. How about that? You don't hear that elsewhere, and that's the truth. Because if you look at timeline, and when she said it, to what happened to him, and also, that's why Jacob Rees-Mogg got abused when he was just having a little walk. Loads of people piling on, the far left, the loony left of the 80s again, when they shouted in the ears of Michael Fabricant, or Fabricant, whatever, when somebody shouted in his ear, right, giving him abuse when he was walking to the Tory conference. Okay? So I actually agree with what the one who's with Reform now, Angela, or whatever her name is, who was accused of having an affair, because that's why she got into Reform, which is absolutely ridiculous. So she had an affair with Boris Johnson, even though Boris Johnson obviously does have loads of things about women. So I think that this is going to put a cat among the pigeons and the pigeons among the cats. But her language, and words have consequences, her language, as I just told you all, right? That's probably why some Tory people had, you had that, that Bailey fella who's with Reform, Jake Berry, that's on. He said that he got targeted by a nutcase, because obviously, probably because he obviously is Some would say he's a Tory, he's not. But he got, hounded by some lewd weirdo, probably a Labour supporter, as I've said. So I have no sympathy for Angela Rayner. She deserves everything she gets, right? And people defending. And the only reason, people need to realise this, the only reason that people are defending Big Ange, the ginger growler, right, is because they got scared to sit in their closet. People need to realise that. That's why they keep defending people. That's what they did during COVID, because they got scared to sit in their closet, right? That's why Andrew Neil, right, for example, who's apparently a Tory, he said that people like me should not allowed to be in public for not taking the death shot, which I never took, by the way. How about that? Eh? Whilst Labour were having a piss at a party, in Durham, right, where Angela Rayner, once she said, "Oh, I wasn't there," and then she goes, "Oh, hold a minute, I was there." So why people give this woman any credence and think she's a great person? She isn't. She's not a great person. She's an awful person. Just like it's an awful Labour government. And I blame people who voted for it. But she's gone now. And I've heard that, Ed Miliband, according to the people who voted, that they want Ed Miliband, him, with his the weirdo with the ukulele. You know what I mean? Eating a bacon sandwich. Hell yeah, I'm tough enough. Him. He could be the deputy. Why would you want him? I mean, he failed before and he'll fail again. And people forget as well that Angela Rayner, by the way, right, she is one of the Corbynites. She was elected on a Corbyn ticket back in 2017 when Labour had 20 or 30 Corbynites on the back benches. Right, that's where they were. So she's one of them. So no wonder she went using scum words as well. Let's not forget that Jeremy Corbyn as well. He broke the rule of 6, right? And then he apologised. Remember that? Do you remember when he went to see his loony brother at Christmas time when nobody could see their families to go at Christmas time, on Christmas Day, but he went to see his fucking brother. So that tells you all you need to know about Corbyn, did it? And his like, and his ilk, and Angela Rayner. So I'm so glad she's gone. And now Keir Starmer's got to pick up the pieces. And he needs to go as well because he's a disgrace as well, by the way. Yeah, we all know what he's like. So, yeah, she's gone. And now, yeah, and I don't feel sorry for it at all. Cry me a river. I have no sympathy. I don't want to see a woman cry because I did see that when watching the Jenny Cow show. When they go the test, it's not your baby, it's not her, but his baby, or her baby is the baby. So we don't want to see that. But if you're in politics, like when you're playing for Man United, right? If you don't perform and you get scrutinised, you get criticism when you put on the Man United shirt, and that's what it's like. So, yeah, she's gone, and I couldn't be more happier. And I'm sure others like me who don't like stuff like her using the language and doing what she does. So that's what I've said about her, and I'm glad she's gone, and I hope she never comes back into Parliament. She's a disgrace. Lower as a snake's belly, and I have no sympathy. And I implore you all to have not the same, because I don't. If she doesn't care about you, did Rachel Fives care when that farmer killed himself? Because of the tax. And did Angela Rayner, did she get advice from Diane fucking Abbott? That's probably why. But there you go. Says it all, doesn't it?